Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Jessica. I'm Gabriel and I'm your interviewer today.
Nice meeting you, Gabriel. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. I have your resume here with us, and I see that you have 975 hours and a bachelor's degree in aviation. What makes you more competent than somebody that has 1,500 hours without a degree?
Once again, welcome back to the Baby Captains. Today, we'll be talking about, do you really need a degree to be hired as an airline pilot? Gabriel, a little bit of my background of my family as well. So I am a very deep Asian culture or Eastern culture, I would say. Very Eastern culture that study, educations is such a matter, not just for the children, but then also for the entire family. My mom is a typical tigress mom. We all do have a spelling, right? When I believe when we were having childhood in the kindergarten, we will have spelling
Yes.
once a week or maybe twice a week. So I do once score 98, afraid of getting into my home. You know why? Because the night before, my mom had a revision with me, and then she was like, girl, I really wish that you can score a perfect score. Even my grandma was like, aren't you gonna come in for lunch? Why are you sitting outside of the house? Until evening, my mom come back to the house, and then she was like, girl, you're not taking your shower, you're not eating your lunch, what's wrong? I was like, that's my score for spelling. So my mom is that the typical one, typical Asian parents that they won't be like, good job girl, 98, you keep it up and keep going. No, she will be the one that asking, where's the remaining 2 points that you're missing? Education was such a thing in my family. Gabriel, I want to ask, what's your opinion for this? Do you really think that airline pilots need a degree?
I don't think so.
Tell us why.
So, as my personal experience, when I had an interview, they asked for if I had a degree. Even though it's not required, it's something that airlines usually prefer. They really care about the degree if you go low in hours. If I show up to the airline to the interview and they see that I have 900 hours, they want to make sure that you have your university degree or your bachelor's degree with you, because that way you can meet the requirements to become an airline pilot.
So this kind of like give a gate opens like to lower down the hours.
The FAA gives you the option if you have a bachelor's degree in aviation. There are certain programs and certain universities that qualify for this. If you have a bachelor's degree, you can go to the airlines with 1,000 hours. And then if you have an associate degree from a college, you can show up, you can go to the airlines with 1,250 hours.
Copy.
If you go to the airlines without any degree, any sort of degree in aviation, you can go there with 1,500 hours
in general
with no degree.
Mm-hmm.
So in my personal experience, they asked for it. It was not a requirement at all, but I see and I know that airlines prefer pilots that have some sort of degree. Doesn't mean that pilots without a degree won't get hired, but it's just something a little bit extra to your resume or to your experience.
All right, so you kind of like citing the no for degree, eh?
Yes,
Hey, wait. How about we start this debate right now? So since you are saying that the team for Go Fly Now,
okay.
And how about I cite the team college degree and we can have this battle?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's show. Ding, ding, ding. Here we go.
With the time or in history, we have seen that airlines have removed the requirement of an aviation degree.
Mm-hmm.
And there had to be a reason. The first one, I think it's because of the demand of pilots. They've been easing a little bit the requirements. But also there hasn't been a huge difference with pilots with degrees and non-degrees.
As long as their flying skill is good, or as long as their experience is showing that they are good for flying, then the airlines will take them in. Is that the approach that you want to take in?
Well, I just say that we saw how the airlines removed the requirement to go to the airlines of having a degree.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're talking about experience or skills
Yeah.
itself. So skills itself, if you put a 1,500-hour pilot and a 975-hour pilot, you can see who's going to have more experience. Certainly the one that has 1,500 hours and no degree.
Yeah, we do have that specific requirements for each specific experiences to meet under this 1,500 hours in general.
Okay. Yeah, we can put it here.
Yes.
And it's usually about cross country, instrument, time,
Mm-hmm.
nighttime,
Nighttime.
takeoffs and landings,
Multi-engine
and
time.
change. There's a few others. But
PIC
we'll see.
time.
Talking about that experience, I think the one that has 1,500 hours has more experience with the one that has a degree, because the one that shows up to the airlines without a degree, yeah, it will have a degree, a 4-year college degree or 2-year college degree, but it will show up with less hours, which is almost 500 hours of flight time. And that's less experience.
All right, I think you get 1 point of this one.
Ding, ding, ding.
Let's say if both pilots showing the same amount of hours, 1,500 hours, but then I'm having an extra education credit of my 4 years degree, we are competent with the hours being meet, not just barely the requirements, and we have extra education credit for that. I feel that with that, we have showing them that we commit to, and we are showing them that our characters with we didn't give up, and we are disciplined enough, we're showing passionate enough to continue with this career, showing that signals that maturity.
So let me break it down. So you're saying that a degree gives you discipline?
Yeah.
It gives you what else?
Good time management.
Okay.
And also, I do join some societies when I was having my associate degrees in aircraft maintenance engineering.
Mhm.
So society can build some network, and not just the network for friends and clubs, but social clubs, but also network related to our career, like aviation field.
Okay, I disagree with those points.
There we go.
You can show up disciplined when you are building your time. Either you get a job as a flying instructor, you have to show up on time for your students, you have to show up on time for your flight lessons, you have to show up on time for your ground lessons. And then if not, you always have a schedule and you always have to show up there on time.
Do you ever show on time?
I think most of the time, yes. And you can tell I have my boss and I was very happy. They were very happy with me.
Boss?
Be there on time.
Boss,
Boss, you know this.
We have been working with you.
He knows this. There's a few times, but there's always reasons to be delayed.
Excuses. That's called excuses.
Oh no, there's something that we cannot control. But yeah, you show up discipline, time management, and society that you're talking, social skills. I think you can learn all these things in the 1,500 hours. That gives you 500 hours more than a normal degree. Yeah, well, you're spending more time in the classroom, which is not the real world for a pilot, because that's not how we work. You go to the flight deck and you get to start living your job, and you start developing those skills.
I was having my classroom studying the theory. Yes, they do not teach me how to fly, but then at the same time, I was also working as a flight instructor. Two things going together on the same track of time. I am showing that discipline and also a high standard of commitment. But then it does not prove you wrong, honestly, because I do get that when we really need to no. Right now, I'm swaying into his way already.
Yeah, and then just to put some extra things in my point, you talk about social interactions or skills. Well, there's websites online that you can connect with people. One of the first steps that I did with my airline, I contacted my chief pilot in one of those websites, and I was asking for some advice or some reasons and some information. I don't think that I needed a degree for that. There's something that you can do it without a degree.
Let me stop you there too. I want to prove another point. So since I was saying that we are the candidate or we are the victim for a pandemic where all the vacancies were stopping, a degree will also help us to find another way, to find a way out, not just for flying. Most of the pilots in our society, in the aviation world, we do really seek flying as our long-term career. But then what if one day, maybe, all right, touch wood for say, that losing a first class medical, all right, it can be a big thing too. Like maybe our health just don't support us to earning that first class medical, and then we cannot fly as an airline pilot anymore. What if we have to go to a management job? Education's degree can help HR to secure us a job in the office instead of we are done with our aviation career, right? Yeah. So I would don't right. So he's nodding his head. Right now I'm earning. All right, I'm getting my way up there. What do you think? Huh?
A degree in this case, specifically for a management position, will help. Even though I don't think everyone starts with a management degree or a management position.
True.
I think you always start from zero.
The front line. Yeah.
The front line. And most of the time, you don't need a degree for those jobs. So if you ended up losing your medical for a reason, first you can decide. Do you want to go back to an office and start a position that you start from zero, or do you want to go back to find a job that you don't require a first class medical? You can find different jobs in aviation that you don't need a first class medical, such as first officers,
Sim instructor.
sim instructor,
I shouldn't give you the point.
ground instructors, CFI, DPEs, etc. That's pretty much, you can choose. There's a few options there.
True. What else?
I want to prove another point. I feel aviation itself is expensive. Adding a degree will just things make more expensive.
This I will give him. This I really would give him that point.
We can say that a lot of people that wanted to become pilots, one of their walls or barriers were finances, because aviation itself is very expensive. Flight hours, flight instruction, rentals, ground lessons, everything in a flight school is expensive.
As long as you're burning the gas, you're burning the money. Yeah?
Not even the gas, you just put the battery on and you're burning the money.
True.
So adding a degree to this will just add another zero to your debt.
Yeah.
So that's a really point that I think a degree is overpriced and overrated.
I will give him that credit. I don't owe any government loan or student loan, but I owe huge chunk of parents' loan. That's yeah. So I'm paying it off right now, thankfully. All right, so I'll keep this way and then keep Mom, Dad, I'm paying, yeah? Whoever vote for the team college, I think I did pretty bad. But yeah, speaking away from my heart, honestly, for me, I was also a supporter for Team Go Fly now, because I was once the Go Fly team. During the pandemic is when I transferred my credits to a college degree, which we both ended up in the same university as well, and then we finished the bachelor degree. To another point where if you already have your flight license, those are transferable credits too to certain university. So for example, it's our university that accept those credits, and then we ended up not paying the full 4-year degrees cost, tuition cost, and we ended with a cheaper price for our tuitions with our degree. So that also add another credits for Go Fly team.
Even though I think the degree is a little bit overrated, but there's a lot of meaning and there's a lot of purpose for it.
Yes.
Even though a lot of airlines don't require a degree anymore, they still prefer to see it on your resume.
Well, don't you enjoy that when you are cracking your head, burning the midnight oil with all of us, and then trying to copy my research paper sometimes, right, Professor? Right? We work as a team. We discuss and meeting the timeline. So those are the traits that the airlines was also looking.
Besides all the skills that a college degree or a bachelor's degree can give it to you, there's a few reasons why, or it's a positive thing. As you mentioned, during the pandemic, and not only the pandemic, but there's always ups and downs in the aviation industry.
Mm-hmm.
A degree is also a way out.
Maybe just because pilots is such a job where motor skills are very, a lot of company look into it, that whether we are capable of flying the plane like a real pilot, other personal characteristic also important. Degrees along the journey when you are finishing up your academic can help you form those characters, that working as a team, multitasking, time managing. Hopefully, all right, you're showing up to the college, showing up to your lecture 5 minutes prior, not on time, because on time is late. All right, guys. Let's wrap it up with the questions. Like, what kind of advice that would you give to a high schooler, like our young listeners, for them that standing on the crossroad right now at the age of 17 or 18, a fresh grad, that thinking about maybe they want to step into our field, and what are the advice that would you like to give them?
That's a very good question. Because even though I really don't support a degree, just to get into the airline, I think it's a good experience. Not only a cool experience, but also a good learning experience. In my case, I have a bachelor's degree, but I think it could be a way out once you have a master's degree, and it could be related to aviation, but some sort of way directed into a different field at the same time. Maybe aviation and data analytics, or
Safety management
safety,
system, SMS.
dispatch, ATC. You know, there's a few ways that you can start looking for jobs just in case, as a backup of something that hopefully not no no it doesn't happen in the future. But
The wave, yeah, because
the
this,
aviation industry is very fluctuating.
correct.
It goes up and down as crazy, and we have been in the industry for a few years only, and we have seen the wave,
Yeah,
a few times.
yeah, it can go down instantaneously.
For a new guy that wants to be or pursue aviation, do you want to go fly right away? That's a good option. But also, we have seen cases that, or whenever you go to a flight school, if you want to get a loan, it usually has to come with a degree, not only licenses. So I
That's a good
think
point.
I think that's most likely where everyone goes with a degree, because of the loans. Not only that, because there's also ways that you can go get flight schools without the degree and get a loan.
You get to choose your own runway.
That's true. Yeah, and then just to close things up a little bit, I think even though even if you have a degree or you don't have a degree, pilots are pilots, and once they get to the airline, it's because they have to go through a lot of tests, a lot of exams, and they made their way there.
No such way that is easier than the other.
Yes.
That is very true, because you are not just showing your skills as a pilot, but you're also showing that you can work with other as a pilot.
And also in the interviews, part of the interviews, I believe HR usually checks your social skills and also your personality. They can work with a pilot that
That need
needs some help, maybe in theory or abilities or skills. But if he's humble enough or his personality allows the instructor to teach him, then they rather work with this person than with someone that is like, no, I do it my way and that's how we do it.
high ego. Yeah, no.
So I know that from our HR at least.
True.
And yeah, I mean, those sort of things you can learn either with a degree or without a degree. Airline pilots with or without degrees are both airline pilots. They are all capable of everything because they go through the same training program, they go through the same exams, they go through the same things that everyone does. So I don't think there's right or wrong answer. There is no black and white here.
True.
At the end, both go to the same thing.
Let's be friends. For the high schooler or the young listeners that they are interested in becoming a pilot, same as us, if you're not sure to start investing such high amount of money into a flight training right away, you could have join some aviation club or seek out some mentor. There are some websites, aviation websites that are mentor-mentee website that you get to connect with your interested airlines pilot. Then they can talk to you and they will suggest which are their recommended way for you to start off your aviation journey. So yeah, and that's why we're here, the baby captains. So another point of view where you're sure that you want to pursue this career as a serious career, then team go fly then, right?
Well, first thing that I always say is go take a discovery flight. That's 100% my recommendation. You go take a discovery flight with an instructor. You see if this is the thing. You will see. You will feel it. You will see and you will feel it. This is what I want to do, or this is not what I want to do. Because there's a lot of things that you will enjoy. You will take controls with a flight instructor.
Sure.
It's about an hour flight, and you really enjoy those things. More about the degree, that's more of a personal opinion. I think it's a personal choice, and there's reasons why. Maybe it's a way out of aviation in case you lose your medical, or in case
another wave, another
something comes
down.
Yeah, financial crisis or health crisis, or
and life goes on. So you need another source of
or I don't know. Some people just get tired of being pilots and they want to find a different source of income.
True. Everyone has their own path. You choose your runway and just be ready for takeoff. Thank you for listening. That's a wrap for today's podcast video. And if you like this episode, please don't forget to hit the like, share, subscribe button. Please comment down below if you have any questions. And we can always be your mentor. That's why Baby Captains is here.
Yeah, follow us on our social media. Send us a message. We're here for you.
And once again,
welcome on board.